Okay, for the Bonzo boss fight, you're typically going to want a party of 5 people, but it's not always necessary. So we're using a party of 2 people. I'm not going to partake because I have over-leveled gear. But my friend is trying to get Bonzo through the first phase, and typically you want to do this before he goes up on the pillars. If you don't do it in time, he'll run up onto one of these pillars and start shooting down projectiles. Okay. Now that he's done with the first phase, he'll start summoning, well, he won't summon undead.
Well, I'm dead.
And he died. So we killed the boss.
He turned around
Okay.
and 2-hit me.
So essentially, when he dashes at you, you're going to want to run around the arena.
I see that.
And if you don't do it in time, he'll run to the center of the arena and spit his stupid wand around and shoot balloons. If that happens when he runs to the center of the arena, tell your entire party to run behind a pillar. They have to be completely behind a pillar, because those projectiles will probably shred you. So for the Scarf boss fight, the main thing you're going to want to do is assign team members to the different guardians in order of strength. So typically, whoever's the strongest is gonna want to go over here, probably with your tank. The next strongest will go over here. Try and kill the priest first. This guy has an attack he'll turn your camera around and hit you with a headlock ability. That can be extremely dangerous. You always want to take out the priest first. Obviously, I'm extremely overgeared for this, so it's super easy. But this will be probably a difficult fight for most parties. Where is the last guy? The mage tends to stick around where he spawns. The mage can deal true damage, which is pretty deadly. Now there's a second phase. You're going to want to kill the priest as soon as possible. If you kill the priest and warrior, you can usually target Scarf. If you have a really good party, you can just kill the priest and Scarf. And if you're really good, you can just straight up kill Scarf. Obviously, I have floor 7 gear, so this is super easy. But for most parties, you're probably going to struggle a bit with this fight. Good luck on floor 2. Okay, the biggest misconception about the professor fight is that melee with basic weapons don't enchant their items with the enchant that does more damage to aquatic mobs, because this applies to all these guardians. So much extra damage. In terms, you're gonna want to take out this guy first if you can, and you want to kill them quickly. Typically, you just want to get them low to like 10k, 20k each, because you won't be dealing near this much damage. But if you can successfully kill the boss first try, the first phase at least, it's a timed thing before they start respawning together. The professor's going to come out. This is by far the easiest phase. Just run around and have your team take him out. It's pretty easy. Then this last phase can do some damage, and water will start rising from this arena at some point, depending on how long you take. But if you're fast enough, you can just kind of delete him. But all of these guys combine into one thing for the very last part. It's not too difficult. Floor 2 is probably a lot more complicated, but there are quite a few strings attached for their abilities. The Reinforced Guardian, which I'm pretty sure spawns here, can heal the others, which is pretty nasty. The Chaos Guardian has a laser beam, which can do a lot of damage. Wait, no, is it the Reinforced? This guy might have the TNT Rain. If that's what he does, I think that's what he does. We'll go with that. It's him or one of the others. Anyways, the TNT Rain attack practically does nothing. And then the other two don't really do that much for their abilities. One of them, I think, is the one that heals the others. But in terms of importance, if you take this guy out, the Chaos Guardian, and then take out the Defensive Guardian, and if you have a good enough party, you can just take out the other two. And the fight should go pretty nice from there. You're probably going to need a decent tank for this, because the boss can do a lot of damage this last phase. Good luck with floor 3. Now, we won't have that much time in the boss fight, so I do want to preface this. All of the roles in your party will be extremely important during this fight. In the Thorn fight, it'll be probably the most difficult fight besides from floor 7 when you first get to it. The melee or tank, it's kind of interchangeable. You're probably going to want the melee to do it. Berserker, if that's what you call it. That's what it's technically called, but I just call it melee because one of the only classes that uses melee for a while. Ooh, beating heart. Cool. You are going to need the tribal spear item. It doesn't have any requirements. It hovers around 1,000,000 coins. You can throw it like up in the sky where Thorn is circling around. You know, in a circle, if you're standing like here and it's looping around, when it goes towards you on an angle, shoot it at like the edge of its hitbox so it like has the highest chance to hit it. Because when it goes fast, it's hard to do. But only do this when your archer picks up the soul bow or the I forget what it's called. I think it's the soul bow. Then once you stun it, you can hit the boss with the soul bow and it'll do 1/4 of its health. And the hardest part about this is probably just surviving. And you're gonna probably have 2 people up in the risers. You're gonna want to have them place down decoys at the start to help them deal with the bats. But besides from that, the main thing you're gonna watch out for is making sure your party's health just stays up, because this boss can do a lot of damage. And the chickens up in the sky. I don't know exactly what their attack pattern is, but think of them as essentially just flying bombs. They hurt really bad, and I don't know why, so watch out for the chickens. See the spirit bear? Yeah, spirit bow. He's important. I don't have a tank, so it's hard to hit the boss. Well, it's tank or a berserker class to stun the boss. But if you're good at it, see, I just took so much damage there. I'm just getting destroyed. I'm way over geared for this too. I didn't bring the right items. I might not even win this fight. See the chicken landmines? Those can hurt so bad. Those can hurt so bad if those get to you. You just need to pay attention to your health bar, really. Manage it well. And you should be able to keep up pretty nicely. More blessings will help. And obviously, with a full party, this will be so much easier. And I am over geared, but this fight is just a really hard fight by itself. So if you need help with it or struggle a bit at the start, that's entirely reasonable. Because I have floor 7 gear, and even I'm getting kind of wrecked. Let's see here. If you get the bow fast enough, it's pretty easy. Like, if you have a good party, you can hit it within the same stun cycle. Third hit. I've practiced this fight a lot, so you're probably going to struggle a lot more than me to hit the boss, at least in your first few attempts. Eventually it will become like natural of just learning the boss's patterns, and it's a pretty big hitbox, but still it can be very difficult at times. See that? I'm just getting destroyed here. I just need to take out some enemies real quick. Cope with my health. My health gets up to a decent range. You can probably take out the boss. Take out the spear bear. Got this. Hit the boss one more time and we win. Hit that shot? No, I didn't. Okay. I might even lose this run because it's a hard fight. Missed. Missed. Oh, this is not going well. This can really tank down your time, and the bigger of a party you have, the easier this will be just naturally. But holy, this can be a difficult fight. I think that this is probably the hardest fight in dungeons when you first get to it. I mean, floor 7 can also be difficult. We finally got it. Let's go. But just like at floor 7, you've kind of learned a lot more about the game. So I think this is just like a really difficult fight. Okay, there's one big trick about this boss fight. It's that throughout this entire thing, only one of them is the real boss. And you can determine this by looking at the ceiling, and obviously I'm using mods that help with that. And I extremely recommend mods. Labby mod's great for that. And it's compatible with a lot of other stuff. So that's probably my number one recommendation. But see, the ceiling's yellow, points to the yellow limit. And the Gloomlock Grimoire item from Ender's Lair 5. It's also the requirements for a Juju Sharpo. Really help with this fight. Because it can drain some of your life, but it can give you charges to heal yourself back up. And that's extraordinarily helpful. As you can see, I did it pretty fast. I'm overgeared a bit, but with a party, it's gonna be essentially that fast. There's probably gonna be some other issues that arise with this fight from their potions and tricks, but as long as you do well and communicate to your team members and know which limit it is, it shouldn't be that hard. Hope this guide helps with your Dungeons experience. Well, I'm Porcupine. See y'all in the next one. Bye.